Hey Clashers, Electro-Dragons are right now incredible strong on Town of 15, but you can combine them with a lot of different strategies. This video is all about like a showcase of the Queen Charge Recall Electro-Dragon strategy, because you can use it in your Legend League attacks, you can use it in Clan Wars, Clan War League, wherever you want to use it. It is incredible strong. I will just go through a couple of attacks step by step and explain what you are looking for when doing those attacks. Huge shout out goes to Entropy and Leo and a couple of their players who are playing this right now in Legends. And I will just try to explain that to you step by step and what you're looking for. This right now is versus one of the players of TWOP, which like they are right now insane on defense. If I have it correctly in my head, they are right now one of the top 3 best clans in the world defensive wise. They have like roundabout like a little bit above 10% defense rate, which means, or like a 3-star rate against them, which means a little bit of 10% or above 10% of the attacks against them are 3 stars. That is incredible. Only a little bit of 10%. That is insane how good their bases are. And Leo is attacking one of the bases with exactly this strategy. But now let's dive into the step-by-step explanation. We're going to do this on a couple of different bases, and this one I'm not doing the attacks on my own, but I really want to make sure that I'm highlighting them so I can explain that a bit better to you, what you have to look out for if you want to use this strategy as well. And as always, the strategy link should be down below in the description. But for now, what are you looking for? In those attacks, while Leo is losing the Queen ability, what you're looking for is you want to take down both air defenses on the flanks of the Town Hall. Yes, there's pretty much always an air defense you can go for. One of the sides you can take down with the Queen, the other side you can go with the Flame Flinger, except a couple of situations I will talk about later on. But as soon as those 2 air defenses are down, you are just going to send in your Electro-Dragons and you can recall the Queen whenever she is in danger. The Town Hall should go easily down with your Electro-Dragons, use the Warden ability to protect them even further, and then in the end it's always coming down to the 3 heroes, which is King, Queen, and the Royal Champion. They are then, in the end, your main force to finish off the base. On this one, we have the yetis on the top side, the Electro-Dragons are slowly going down, but your heroes, they have to push through. You can save a couple of spells to do so, but after that, you are looking good to go to finish off the base. On this one, there is not much base left. Time is obviously ticking, but the Queen's still looking really strong. The King is still going on the outside. He still has the Phoenix Egg to unhatch, right? So it's even more. But overall, this is like the idea on how to approach those box bases, and it's incredible strong. With the recall spell, you are really flexible against other type of bases as well. Diamond bases should be no problem. You can just charge for the Town Hall, recall your Queen. But now the obvious question is, how do you approach ring bases? So I think we should take a look at that next, because ring bases might be not as easy as you think, but it's possible for sure as well. And this is one of the most annoying ring bases overall. Yes, if you're in lower Legends, Super Archiblim for sure is not a hard thing on this base. But as soon as you're getting higher and higher Legends, not that many people anymore using Super Archiblims, so people don't really defend that heavily anymore. Instead, you see a lot of Queen charges, instead you see a lot of smash attacks like the Zap Titans and so on. And having a double Rage Tower in the middle is really a lot of pain, especially with all of those ground expos, because Queen charges are harder, smash attacks are harder. It's really not an easy thing to do. But on this one, you never really have to get into the core with this strategy. So what he does is, first things first, just use the Flame Flinger again. This siege machine is always one of the key elements to success with this strategy. While he is doing that, he's now charging one of the corners to take down those buildings right there, because he's trying to create pathing and he's trying to not get into the range of the expos too much. Next step is he's trying to get now the pathing on the other side to push all of his Electro-Dragons straight into the core, because this is where all of the ground expos are and you are trying to avoid them, okay? With that being said, the Electro-Dragons are in, the Queen is doing a nice job of funneling, and take a look at the timing. He's having the perfect timing where he has the Queen pushing the Electro-Dragons into the core. At the same time, the Electro-Dragons, though, are keeping the Queen on the outside to make sure that she's not getting into range of all of those ground expos. Only one of the ground expos is actually on that Queen. Warden ability, nice and early. The Town Hall is going down quickly. And with that being said, we have even the Eagle going down. while the flame flinger is still looking strong. At this point again, you are running out of rages quite quickly with this strategy, because you have an entire recall spell, which is like 1 rage you have less with this army composition. So what he does a lot of times, we have seen that in the last attack, we're seeing this in this attack again as well, is you have to reinforce your queen at some point with the king. You don't have to play your king separately or like to funnel the Edragons. No, that's what your flame flinger does. You have to make sure that your king is actually getting sent into the base with that queen together, to make sure that it's protecting the queen and you are not losing her too early, because remember, you are having 1 rage spell less overall. And this is perfectly showcased on this one. King with the Royal Champ, with that queen, and even with the swag invisibility, finishing off this base in style. But I think we should get back to the classic counter, which is the box base. Because as I said, box bases are like one of the best bases to attack with this strategy. But again, now let's take a look at the different base. Like, it's still a box base, but different setup. On this one, we have that ground expo covering, as always, nearly one of the air defenses. And if you have the opportunity on the other side to use your flame flinger, like on this side or this side, obviously, do it. And this guy is running air expos. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, he's running air expos, which means this entire bottom side is not really covered by anything, so he can just use the flame finger and get some great value. But now you're wondering, well, what is he going to do about the other air defense? Wait. He is always having the recall spell. So that's what he does. Recalling the queen, having now the queen on the top side, and as soon as the second air defense is down, and as I said, those air defenses are typically always there, well, as soon as that air defense is down, it is go time for you and your Electrodragons. That's always the timing, so you're not running into time issues. That's always the go button. As soon as that's looking good, take a look at that. He's just sending those Electrodragons in, while the queen slowly but surely is going around the top side. Another freeze around the town hall. You can just keep freezing that town hall. Now the rage, and then the vulnerability again as the town hall is going down. There was even a titan in there, and now he's just reinvesting a ton of rages. You can go really heavy on the rages with your Electrodragons, because remember, a lot of times you never really heavily push into the core with your queen, so rages are most of the time not needed really that much. As well, a couple of more spells to take down the bottom queen, for example. Flame Flinger, see going strong on the bottom side. We have the king, the royal gem, and the queen again as like this triple powerhouse approaching the back end. We have still the headhunter for the defending king, poison as well there. The giant is helping with the wizard to clean up. The giant can be used mainly in scouting for traps for the flame finger, for example. That's where you can really nicely use it. Wall breaks that keep coming in to make sure that everything is reachable, but in the end you can see already, even though there's quite a few powerful defenses, but with those air expos, those heroes just can't die. And this is why you should always, if you're having to face, if you're high in legends, or if you're facing off against a good clan which is capable of queen charges, you have to use ground expos. Otherwise, exactly this is going to happen, as we can see here. So this is going to be the last couple of seconds of this attack. But again, there's so many box bases out there. I want to show you a couple of more examples. Box bases all look so pretty much the same, but yet so different. On this base, we have again the classic setup. It's always those two air defenses and always covered by the ground expos. The problem with this is though that a lot of times those expos are just too late to cover for the air defenses. And again, we are going to take a look at the far side where we have a double mortar, which makes it really hard to get a flame finger in there successfully. And this is what we know. That's right. Use the queen on one side, use the flame finger on the other side as always. Because if you do not have that flame finger on the opposite side, you need to send it in to funnel one of the flanks. Why is he doing that? Well, as always, you need to take down that air defense to create the pathing and make sure your Electrodragons are not like going off to the flank. At this point now, he is not trying to like get his queen anywhere. He's just going to recall her because again, you are trying to not use any spells, or at least not too many, for your queen. The reason is you want to have great chain lightning through the core of the base. That is the important thing, right? And while we have now the queen on the left side, we have now the Electrodragons. As soon as the second air defense is down, starting into the tunnel. It is pretty much always the same approach, but somehow it always works versus those box spaces. So if you have any problem against those, just go for it. At this point now, we have the queen charging on the left side. We see that the queen needs a bit more support because of the double ground expo. But again, remember, we have another hero we can send in now to support that queen even further, which is the king. War ability at the town hall. Really great timing again. Monolith should go down as well. King is there to support that queen. Tank a couple of defenses for her. And even the flame flinger survived, which is another great thing. Freeze in the core. He has a couple of more spells which he can use. Sadly, no rages. But otherwise, well, those Edragons, it's always surprising to me how long they are actually surviving. It is crazy. The core nearly empty, the eagle already gone, most of the other defense is gone, the queen is still trying to push through. Freeze on the back end, ground expo, because you can see how much more damage those defenses do when they can just reach those heroes earlier. And then we have the invisibility to finish off the base, finish off the royal champion with a nice poison as well. And with that being said, it's yet again another 3-star. All of those bases were obviously maxed out. And, well, I really hope that this was maybe a nice guide if you have struggled versus those box spaces. If you wanted to use that in Clan War League, or Legend League, it's a really fun Legend strategy as well, as Leo and the players from Entropy are showing to us. So give it a try. The link for the strategy is down below in the description. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next one. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.